Oops, let me get my mouse over to the correct screen so I can actually advance through my slides. There we go. Good morning. So my name is Lori Yeager. I'm coming to you from beautiful central New York State. So an hour ahead of you time-wise, and I will be in the path of totality a week from now during the solar eclipse. You can be jealous, you can. I'm actually doing a 5K with my niece and my daughter during the eclipse, so it's going to be a very exciting day. So I was an educational technology specialist. Well, I guess I still am, but I am retired from full-time service, an organization in New York State where I worked with 50 school district region. One of the products that I supported was ClassLink. And at some point before I retired, when their business was really taking off during COVID and all, they started to bring on some additional trainers to help with events like this. And so here I am. And we are going to be addressing ClassLink. And just in case, sometimes people are well aware of ClassLink and its capabilities when we come into this training, and sometimes not. So I always start off with the basics of what is it? It's your one location for all of your web-based tools. It does save usernames and passwords for you, and you and your students will have your very own access and customized screen. So you will be logging into your Launchpad, and on your Launchpad will be the applications that have been deemed appropriate for you from the district, and then additional customizations and things that you will be able to add to it. At the bottom of the screen, I do have the URL, and I believe Katie can explain to you where you can find that link. Go ahead, Katie.
Excellent. So everyone from the students and staff are going to find the link for the Seymour ClassLink launch page right from your normal staff launch page on the upper left-hand corner. That will give you your direct link. And student launch page also has this ClassLink launch page, as well as when you look at the district website, right above where you normally would have found our launch page for students and staff, there was also a direct link to our launch pad for Seymour. So you want to make sure that you use those links, not just go to ClassLink and try to log on. This is going to be your direct link to get you right into Seymour.
Yes. Perfect. Right. So our agenda for this morning, going to be getting you logged in, working with your My Apps or Launchpad screen, as it's referred to, accessing your app library of additional applications that you can add, a variety of additional customizations that you can make to your screen, your Launchpad, and then touching on a couple of features, one called My Classes, one called My Analytics that your district is implementing. We do recommend that today for the training that you're on a laptop, a Chromebook, or a computer, just so that what I'm showing you on my computer mimics what you are seeing. But do know that you can use an iPad or other mobile devices either in school or if you have them for personal use, but you do have to download the ClassLink Launchpad mobile app from the appropriate app store for your device. You would not be going through the browser like you would on a computer device. And Katie, did you have a comment there? I see you nodding your head. Nope, I'm saying the right things. Perfect. Good. Well, feel free to jump in if there is anything specific to your district that you think of that I don't mention. And then, do you have this quick guide for teachers PDF, Katie? If not, I can send you the link to this. It's a little 2-page handout that touches on all of the basics that I'm going to cover today, that makes a nice little reference document for later that I can send off to you if you'd like, Katie.
Send it my way.
Beautiful. I will do so. I will share the link when I send you the link to the recording. So if you have clicked on the link to take you to the Launchpad for Seymour SD, you should be seeing a screen similar to what I'm displaying on my screen here now. And you are going to be using your network credentials to log in. Your username is going to be your school email address, everything before the @Seymour, and your standard network password. Now, you will notice that there is a help, I forgot my password link here. I'm going to show you as soon as we get logged in, how you can set up how and where you would be able to recover your password. And Katie, are you using quick cards? I see that there is the option for quick cards open here.
So we have the feature for quick cards available for our kindergarten and first grade for our students that are on iPads. Otherwise, we are 2nd through 12 using Chromebooks, so we don't have quick cards set up for those.
Very good. And with quick cards, they will have their own little printed kind of QR code looking code that they will be able to hold up to the camera to log them in instead of them having to type in any kind of information. So I've already logged in to my test user, my sample user on another page here. And I do want to show you how you can set up the password recovery option very first thing here. So up here in the upper right-hand corner, you're going to see a little avatar.
Lori, we only see your presentation.
Well, be like that. Hang on just a second. Let me stop share and reshare to make sure that I'm sharing my desktop and not my screen. All right, how about now? Are you seeing the Launchpad?
That's good. That's good.
Good. I may have clicked window instead of screen. I'm not sure. But so your screen would have looked like this if you did not see that when I moved on to that tab. And here I am logged in. So you can see now up in the upper right-hand corner, the little avatar. Right now, mine is still the witness protection one. Yours probably is too. And I'll show you a little bit later how to change that. But right now, let's click on the down arrow and click on settings. And let's hop right on over to the recovery tab. We're going to come back and cover some of these other options a little bit later. So you should have mobile phone and questions as options for your Launchpad password recovery. And you can click on them to turn them on. So you would plug in your mobile phone number here. It would send you a verification code, and then that would kind of verify that it is really your number, and that would fully set up this option. I'm not going to do so since I won't need it after today. But if you want to use the mobile phone password recovery option, just know that then you would need your mobile phone with you when you wanted to use that. Or you can go with the questions option, where it's going to ask you 3 questions, and you can either create your own custom questions, or you can choose from the standard kind of, what's your favorite color, your favorite dessert, etc. So if I were to choose favorite color and then type in my choice here, I could click here so that I could see what it is, make sure I typed it in properly and all. So I would answer all my questions, I would hit save, and then if I ever had the need, back here at the login screen to use the help, I forgot my password, it would now bring up allow me to choose from what I set up as my password recovery options. Choose one, provide the appropriate information, and be able to recover my password. So if you're done there, we're going to close out using the X to bring us back to the Launchpad. So as I said, we'll go back into those settings later once you've got some context for some of the other options. But I did want to have you set that up first thing when we got in here. And if you didn't complete it, you can always go back to it there under the drop-down settings and recovery. So this is your Launchpad. You should be seeing something similar to what I have here. And you will be encountering pretty much 3 different types of applications while you're in here. Some might be just web links out to particular resources. Like I think under your staff resources here, you have, let's see. What might be a good example of one that's just a web link, Katie?
If you take a look at like maintenance request, or if you take a look at tech help.
There we go. All right, now, 2 things. You'll notice when I mouse over this, it does not have a key on it, which means that it does not require any credentials to get into it. It is basically just like a bookmark. So when I click on it, it does. Now, this one, you do need to be within your Google domain, and I am not. So that's why it's not letting me get there. But for you, it would link you right to that Google form that has been set up. You will notice that there's a lock on it. No key, but there is a lock. The lock means that it's been pushed out by the district and you're not able to remove that particular application. So any of those with a key are ones that require credentials. Any of those with the lock are ones that were pushed out by the district. And the ones without the key are just basically web links. Then we have some applications that are going to have a password locker attached to them. In your case, the PowerSchool teacher application. It's going to pop up with a little window that looks like this, where you would plug in your username. And I'm just pretending because I'm not actually a PowerSchool user in your district. But you would plug in your username and your password for accessing PowerSchool Teacher. You would hit save, and it then should take you directly to PowerSchool Teacher. For me, as I said, since I'm not a user in your district, it wouldn't have worked for me. But the next time that you go to access PowerSchool, after you've saved your username and password in the password locker, all you'll have to do is click, and it will take you right there. Now, let's say you accidentally type the wrong username or password in there, and now it's saved in your password locker. Oh no, what do I do? How do I change it? Very simply, you just right-click, go to Edit Password, click on the little pencil here next to where it says Default, and now I can change my username and password. So, like I said, situation could be you accidentally typed the wrong one in the first time, or maybe someplace down the line, you do have to change your password and you'll need to then change it in your password locker. And it's as simple as right-clicking, edit password, come in here, change your password, click save, X out of here, and the new password is now saved in your password locker. So I think you've got a few applications that may be that particular situation. And do know, Katie, I assume the Chrome extension for ClassLink has been pushed out to all district devices. I see Katie shaking her head, yes. Now, if you were to go home and use a non-district device to access ClassLink, which you are able to, any device on which you can either access the browser or on a mobile device, access the mobile app for ClassLink, you can access your Launchpad, but know that it may prompt you one time to install the ClassLink Chrome extension so that this password blocker functionality works. Should only have to do it once. I know we normally caution you about agreeing to any little pop-ups that come up on your computer, but know that that one is legitimate. And you know how Google may sometimes ask you if you want to save passwords? Now that you have ClassLink in place, if you're ever getting that message of save, you do want to say never. ClassLink is doing all of that for you, either through password locker or other magic that goes on. So you do not within Google need to save. Then we have some other applications like iReady and GoGuardian that are Google sign-in ones. Now, in my situation, again, because I'm kind of a user, but kind of not, it does stop and try to ask me what. Oh, no, I'm getting totally broken link because, again, I'm not really a user in your district and in your Google domain. But let's see, let's instead. Okay, mine does stop and ask me what Google account I want to use. Katie, in your people's situation, will they see that, or will, since they're already logged into their Google accounts, will it take them right straight on through?
For some of them, it will ask them which account. It depends. Some teachers might have 2 accounts linked to it, so they would have to choose whether or not they're using their @seymour.k12.wi account or another one. So usually the first one there, but if you do have 2 profiles loaded, it will always ask you which account, which will slow it down a little bit. So it is recommended that you just have the one loaded and maybe just different profile on your computer in order to access a personal one.
But with those, it's pretty much a quick pass through to your tool. In this case, GoGuardian. Another example is iReady, that based on your Google account, it's going to take you very quickly and easily through to that particular application. And then one other example, so we've talked about that you're going to have some of these links, like the maintenance requests, that are just web links, just basically bookmarks. We have some that you're going to have to store your username and password one time, but then after that, whoop, and you're going to go. You're going to have some like iReady and GoGuardian that are attached to your Google, but still should take you through with very little pain. And then we're going to have some like Discovery Education. You may or may not have that on your Launchpad yet, but I will show you how you are able to add additional applications. And Discovery Education is one that there's something called rostering that goes on behind the scenes, some magic between the vendor and ClassLink and the school district, that one, the very first time you click on it, it should take you right straight through. Without having to enter any kind of information. It knows you, it recognizes you, it knows you have access to that particular application, and away you go. Any others that will be like that, Katie, or not yet?
For this school year, Discovery is the first one, but we will have some rolling forward for next year that'll auto work that way. Just because we're starting halfway through the school year, we don't want to interfere with some schoolwork that's already been done and get new courses made.
Yep, quite often when you go to roster, it does reset your history information. And as Katie said, with doing this mid-year, you don't want that history resetting. At the beginning of a school year is one thing, but in the middle, not so much. So Discovery Education is our only example currently, but that will grow. There will be more applications that when you click on them, boom, like I said, it's going to know who you are. It's going to know what you need access to in that application, and it's going to take you right there. So let's see. Is there anything I forgot to mention in this section? I think we're good here. Any questions so far? Feel free for somebody to jump up and jump on the microphone if you do have any questions.
Can you go through, Lori, and show them how to add, for example, Power School Admin if they don't have it?
Yep.
It's on your screen, but if you want to go up to the plus, we've had some people ask that question.
Okay, hang on just a moment. I was going to do some other customization things and then get into adding apps. So I will do that momentarily, but prior to that, I did want to tell you about some other things that you can do to customize your interaction with your Launchpad screen here. The apps are initially pushed out, I think, in alphabetical order. They show up. Discovery Ed is not is out of order because I added that one and it went to the end of the list. But know that you can drag and drop these into any kind of order that you want. So if there's certain ones you use frequently, like if I use Discovery Ed every day, I want that up here in the upper left at the start of my whole list. If I want to sort them into some kind of logical order for me, it starts out one way, but you can customize it to any look that you want. You can also set applications up to automatically launch. So if there's a particular app that you use every single day, first thing in the day, like PowerSchool maybe, you can right click on that and set it to auto launch. So right click, choose set auto launch from the menu. You'll notice that now, in addition to having the little key and the lock, it also has a little rocket ship. That means that it's one of the normally 5 is what it's set to that you can set up to auto launch. And that means that the next time I log into my Launchpad screen, it is going to also open up a new tab and get me logged into PowerSchool. If I decide I no longer need that, I just right click and do remove auto launch. You can also add applications to your favorites bar, which is this area across the bottom, where right now we're only seeing my analytics on mine. But again, if I wanted PowerSchool to be a favorite and show up down there, I just right click, add to favorites. It shows up at the bottom of the screen, and it also shows up with a little star on it up here on within the main screen. And again, if I want to remove it from my favorites, just right click and toggle that back off. The district has created a few folders for you already, one for your Google Suite tools, one with specific employee resources, staff resources, library resources. But let's say you wanted all of your PowerSchool icons in a particular folder. I could right click here, go to add to folder. I don't have any folders of my own created yet, so I have to add the folder itself. I'm just going to type PS for PowerSchool for shorthand, just so I can type and move along faster. You can choose the color that you want the folder to be. I do create, and it automatically creates the folder. And then I can add additional applications by just going to right click, add folder, click on the PS, and there it is. Then if I ever decide I want to get rid of that folder, I can right click on it, remove folder. It's not going to remove the applications. It's just going to dump them back out onto my Launchpad screen. And one last feature. Yep.
I just want to reiterate how nice that auto launch feature is that you demonstrated, because I know all of our teachers, every day you got to log on to PowerSchool. It's one of those things you have to open every day, and even like your email. So if you went through and had your PowerSchool teacher, or if you're a person that needs to launch admin every day, set that as an auto launch, you won't believe the amount of time it's going to save you. And again, Lori said you can have up to 5 apps that will auto launch for you. So think about those things that you open every day, and you can make those auto launch for you. So it's a really nice tool.
Yes. Excellent, Katie. And I obviously chose a good example then in choosing PowerSchool as the one, because sometimes I sort of randomly go, well, if this, but so good. Glad I chose a good example. Last thing I want to show you before we get into adding apps is you can always come up here to the search bar and search, like I knew Go Guardian was in one of the folders. So I just typed it up here, started typing it in, and it shows me anything that matches with the letters that I've typed. But you can also put tags on particular apps. If you had particular apps that were related to, I'm going to use the ClassLink related ones as an example. If I right click here, I can add an app tag to this. Again, I'm going to go with CL for ClassLink just to make it short. I'm going to add that same app tag to one of the other ClassLink resources. So Now, if I come up here to the search bar and I click on the little down arrow next to the tag and I choose CL, it's going to filter my applications down to just those that meet that app tag criteria. So if you ever suddenly have less icons on your desktop than you think you should have, or your students run into this, double check that they don't have an app tag invoked at the time. Because if they do, it's going to filter down to just those with that app tag. Once I come up here and click on the X, everything comes back. So, all right, now moving on to adding applications. Up here next to your logo and the word Launchpad, we have a little plus sign. And when I mouse over it, it does come up with Open App Library. When I click on that, it does open up, and we've got 4 different categories of applications. I assume your users see this same thing, Katie, as I am with my test user. You've got an all staff category. You've got a district-wide category. You have a students, and I assume students are only seeing students, and you have a teachers. And these are particular groupings that the district has defined that you are able to add applications from. I'm here under teachers, and let's say Brain Pop is something that I use and I want on my Launchpad. I just click on add, and it does add it. If I close out here, Brain Pop is now here at the end of my list. And I also want to point out that in addition to be able to add particular applications from the different categories here, you can also add your own web links. So if you come up here to the Add App button, I like to use the example of weather. You can type in or copy and paste in a URL. I know that www.weather.gov is a good one. Then I do have to select an icon to go along with it. I know if I start searching for weather that there's a cute little sun and cloud icon. I click Add App, and now I have an application that is just basically a bookmark, a web link out to the National Weather Service. Nothing too crazy going on weather-wise. When I was doing some trainings with Texas over the summer, the beginning of the school year, seeing all the heat advisories they had going on, it was kind of interesting, but not anything too much exciting on the weather map. So you are able to add any additional web links that you wish to your Launchpad in that manner, because you kind of want to build this into being your one-stop shop for all of your web-based tools. So anything that you might use, if there's a newspaper, a stock site, whatever, you can add that here. You are also able to add apps by right-clicking on your Launchpad here. I alternate between calling it Launchpad and calling it's kind of like your desktop. So you can right-click and add app. You can also add folders in that fashion, or you can go to the plus sign up here. Then you also have edit mode, where you can make some changes to the look of your Launchpad screen. Again, one more way that you can add folders, but then over here on the right-hand side, you are able to alter the app size to smaller or larger, the font style, in other words, how the titles are displayed at the bottom here, whether it has a background behind it like you see now, or the text shadow. I kind of like the background. And then the palette is the color scheme of the toolbar across the top here and the little icons. Sometimes I do change it to red so that when I'm pointing out to people those little locks and keys, they stand out a little bit better. So all 3 of those things can be changed from the edit menu, which we accessed here from the pencil. And when we're done with it, we close out of. Any questions up
Yeah,
through the.
Lori, I have a couple questions that I'm getting, so I just want to address it to everyone in there. So a couple questions are, why are we going to ClassLink? So ClassLink is going to be replacing our launch page for our students and our staff. So starting next school year, the launch page will no longer be there for our students and staff, and everyone is going to access all of the apps and links using ClassLink. So this will be something that will auto push out and will be your forced page, but you'll also be able to find it off of the district webpage. I do know we have some people asking about Seesaw, and Seesaw is going to be added within also as a link for people to be able to add to their Launchpad as well. Some people are asking about just going through and using this for an extension. If you do have some additional questions today, I will be able to go through and help you at that point. I have been getting some emails. It looks like you have Seesaw. Is this your other demo one, not our Seymour one there, Lori?
This is the demo one for my classes, so.
Okay, so we'll
it's
work on
the-
getting that Seesaw one out there for people that are using that.
Yeah,
So
I don't see Seesaw on my, my Seymour teacher one. I do
I
not.
hope, Amy, that answers your questions down there, and well as at the high school, we got some questions on why we're using ClassLink. So this is going to, again, replace everything that has been on our Launchpad. And one of the nice features is it can be specified specifically for our high school students. We'll have different links than, for example, our fifth grade students. So that way they get the apps that are important and that can be used for them instead of having it just being a generic one for everyone there. So we're just trying to get this training out now, and you will find that there might have some apps that we need to add back on there, and we'll work with all of our buildings to make sure we can get from there. The biggest part is when you are trying to add your apps, make sure that if it's not one that's there for you, you want to click on that plus part just to the right of the word Launchpad and look for an app. I've had some people asking for the Power School Admin one. So you want to click on that plus there and find the app. That's where you're going to be able to search to find it.
Oh, and I already have Power School Admin added to mine, so it's not coming up as one that,
Okay.
or it's not under all staff, one of the two, but.
Yep, we'll work on that too, just to give people a head up. I'm just kind of taking some notes on things that we need to have on there as well. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, then, what did I do with it? Where did it go? Where did it go? There we go. So the next thing I was going to address was the My Classes option in ClassLink, but My Classes is only going to be showing up for teachers who are rostered with classes in Power School in Seymour. And since my test teacher does not actually teach there, I have to go into a demo database, demo instance of ClassLink. So things are going to look similar but different to what you would be seeing. But if you have My Classes, if you are teaching classes in the district, you're going to have a My Classes option. And so with your students at the bottom of the screen, that looks like a little backpack. When you click on the backpack, it is going to open up another screen where you are going to see all of the classes that you are enrolled to teach. And your students would see all of the classes that they're enrolled and taking. And when you click on a particular class, just going to choose the one here at the top, your district is not utilizing announcements, but you are utilizing the apps feature, where this is where you could choose or add particular apps that you want to focus the students in on for your class. So they're going to have their standard Launchpad, but here under My Classes, you can add just the applications you want and need them to be using in your classroom. You add the applications. Again, this is going to look different than yours. Yours will look more like when we clicked on Add App back in my Seymour test teacher, where you would have district and teacher and student, but you could then add any applications that you want the students to have. You can also add custom apps. Those are the bookmark style ones. So if you have a particular web page you want the kids to go to during your class, You can add that here, again, in the same manner, app name, type or copy and paste in the URL, select an icon, and it is added. And then when you're ready to remove any of those, you just click on the remove and it will take it away. Your district is only implementing apps, not announcements or discussion boards, so we will just ignore those. But you will have the link for students where you will see all of the students that are rostered in your class, and you will be able to look at details of their activity within ClassLink. You'll be able to see who has logged in by the little check mark that you see here. And you'll be able to see their activity in a heat map style, where the darker the color, the longer they spent on. And if I click on this 5 hours and 12 minutes for James Barr, these are the applications that he was accessing and for how long. So he logged into ClassLink Launchpad, he went to Reflex Math, and that was his active browser tab for 2 hours and 2 minutes and 35 seconds. So you can get an idea of what your students' activity within the applications are. You can change the name as it's listed on your dashboard, so how it will display for you and your students by just clicking here, because it's going to come over from your student information system from PowerSchool, just as it's named there. But maybe you have a slightly more user-friendly name, and you can also change the icon to what you would like it to be, and that's how it'll be displayed on the dashboard. Your students see more of a tiled version of this, where they would see the name of the class and they would actually see the icons for the applications that you have set up for them right below it. And you saw when we drilled into a class, we could see data for that particular class, or we can go to login summary and look at very quickly heat map of logins for all of your classes at once. Any questions on my classes?
Just want to reiterate, we have some people asking about PowerSchool admin. If they're not able to add it through the apps, IT will be working on that. If you don't have that teacher folder, we'll also be adding that as well. We have about 1 minute left, so if any of the staff do have specific questions, they can go ahead and email myself, and I'll be working on trying to get those items added on there. So we are working on PowerSchool admin as well as Seesaw.
Beautiful.
And this training is going to be recorded. So if it went a little fast and you want to go through and learn about how to add those favorites on the bottom, as well as those auto launch features, you'll be able to go back and rewatch. Very
good. And I'm going to touch on a couple more features here while I'm recording that are in the profile settings here, but I'll understand if people need to sign off and move on with your day. But the last couple of things I was going to show under my profile settings here, it's another way to access some of the info that I showed you related to your app passwords, related to themes, being able to change the app size and font style. Here you can come here to change app passwords in addition to right-clicking on any of the applications. Here you can set up your auto launch or see those items that you have set up to auto launch. Sign-in options, we don't have to worry about. Recovery, we already talked about. And one of the last things I want to say as far as security goes is make sure when you walk away from your computer, you do sign off of your Launchpad. You come up here to the upper right corner and click the sign out, because anyone who sits down at your computer gets the same easy access that you do to all of your tools without having any further login information or anything. So you do want to make sure that you're very careful there. And then you will have this recording available to you, and then also some other resources from ClassLink. These ClassLink Academy takes you to little courses that you can take, and there is one for instructor and students. And up here from the hamburger menu, there is also a support docs area that takes you to a help screen where you could search for things like auto launch and read up more about that or any other feature that you want to know more about. And the one last thing that I was going to share was my analytics. Some of the analytics that you were able to see in my classes for your students, you're also able to see for yourself. Login statistics, app summary, where you are spending your time, etc. So that is also a feature available. So I think that is everything. I won't keep you any longer. I will say, hope you're having a lovely spring there in, where are you? Wisconsin, is it?
Wisconsin, yeah.
Wisconsin. And do feel free to reach out to myself or your implementation person, Cindy, if you do have any questions or issues. And I will send along that handout, Katie, and a link to the recording of this once we're done. All right.
Super. Thank you, Lori. And
You're
again,
welcome.
anyone, or if you have any questions, you can let me know. I know another question I got asked was about Skyward. IT is working on getting the Skyward app added, and it will be added to the Launchpad once it is all up and working as well. So again, your Launchpad is going to be your one-stop shop for all of your access of links for you to be an employee within the district, as our student and staff Launchpage will be retired over the summer.
Very good. All right. Well, everyone have a wonderful April. Hopefully you won't get any April Fool's pranks that aren't fun today. And if you think we're good, I'll go ahead and end the Zoom. All set, Katie?
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.